Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Dave Koken and Ralph Michaels of WagerTalk.com. We're talking SEC championship game here with a bigger SEC championship spread than I can remember seeing here, Dave. We got the Alabama Crimson Tide laying 17 points against the Florida Gators. High total as well. What's 73 to 74, depending where you're shopping, as we're talking during the week. What are you thinking with the Crimson Tide versus the Florida Gators, Dave?
Well, I made the line 14, so I think it's a little pricey. But the problem with that, and why I won't be taking the dog here, is Alabama just has incredible killer instinct. It's really tough for me ever to go against a football team like this. They're absolutely loaded, and Florida's not going to be able to stop them. The Florida defense is just not very good, to be honest with you. I don't read much into the loss to LSU because, as you can see, they're still playing for the SEC title. So whether they beat LSU or not didn't turn out to make much of a difference. And I think that was kind of a flat spot going in, looking ahead to the title game. So I didn't really dock Florida any points for that. They're obviously very capable with their offense, but this Alabama team, they might really be something special. I mean, you look at last week's game against Arkansas, and obviously it was a game they were going to win. But if ever there was a spot where the Crimson Tide figured to relax, take it easy, and maybe allow a spirited Arkansas team to give them a little bit of a contest, it just didn't happen. They just took them behind the woodshed and did a number on them. So the number's high enough to keep me away from betting Alabama, but I really don't want any part of Florida here.
Alabama taking Arkansas behind the woodshed. I like it, Dave. Ralph, coming to you. I mean, this is a high spread, like Dave was just talking about, but it's high for a reason. It's tough to step in front of the Crimson Tide. What are you thinking here in the SEC championship?
I've been doing college power ratings for 25 years. This is the strongest team I've had, period, because I always start at 100 with my top team. And I have Alabama 17 points better than Florida. I have Alabama 10 points better, state my number 2 team. So when you're averaging 198 yards, when you're plus 198 yards per game, when you can rush for over 5 yards and you're allowing under 3 yards, and you have a quarterback that has a 27-3 ratio, I just think there's no stopping this Alabama team. I think they can name their price. Dave, let me ask you this question. If Florida wins, are they in?
I don't think so.
I mean, it'd be the committee's going to have a hell of a time not taking the SEC champ. So that's what I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think they'd be in with 2 losses because they could be, but they would need some help. They would need Clemson to lose to knock them out. They would need,
and Ohio State to lose for sure. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, they've got to get a spot someplace. They would even need Cincinnati to lose. Look, I think the road's tough to go. Tough to hope for Cincinnati, but as much as the committee has a bias in favor of the Power 5 conferences, if Cincinnati's unbeaten and they look good against Tulsa, they'd be unbeaten. I don't think they could go. I don't think Florida could go ahead of them. The loss last week, even though it didn't mean anything as far as the conference title game is concerned, it really did hurt Florida. It moves A&M ahead of them, actually. I mean, to me, if Florida beats Alabama, A&M is the team that might benefit and slip in.
Yeah, it hurt Trask, too, for his Heisman. And I asked that because of this. Prior to the loss at LSU, I would have been more apt to lay 17 with Bama. But, Dan Mullen's gotten crushed 10 straight times against Saban. I think now with 2 losses, he could try all this weird shit and try pulling out the stops. And I think he coaches the game differently because they lost. If he had a 1-loss team and the winner goes, I think he's more conservative, and I would be on Bama minus 17. Because of that loss, it may keep me off of it because what he's capable to do to try faking punting or fake field goals or going for it. So, I don't know if that's enough to keep off it, but I lean Bama. I lean the over. Again, as impressive of a team for sure in my power ratings in the last 15 years as I've had, and they're just a monster team. And it's amazing that 5 years ago they were probably as good as any team, and it was all the defensive side. He's completely turned things around, and now has the most dominant offense in college football.
Well, yeah, because it's not just Mac Jones, who's probably going to win the Heisman now, but Najee Harris is a phenomenal running back. Devontae Smith, I don't know how he's not going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, given how valuable receivers are in the NFL. Devontae Smith is absolutely phenomenal, just phenomenal. I mean, look at the guy's got 15 touchdowns. He's averaging 16 yards per reception. He's just an incredible weapon. There just are no weaknesses on this Alabama team.
And let's forget, Jalen Waddle got hurt in the Georgia game, who was their best offensive player overall. Imagine if he was in this lineup. It would be crazy.
Yeah, talking about reloading there with the Alabama Crimson Tide, plus the fact, not only the LSU loss, Dave, Florida down the stretch, one thing I've noticed, because I was on them on a game or two here, losing 3 of 4 ATS, meaning against the spread down the stretch. They really haven't been pouring it on offensively either, trying to get Trask the Heisman Trophy. That's another reason I'm not looking to be on the Gators here, Dave.
Well, they haven't played great football. I mean, they gave up a couple of late touchdowns to Tennessee, so the score was a little bit misleading. They handled Kentucky, but it wasn't an absolute annihilation. Vanderbilt actually gave them a much better game than they should have. So something's been missing on the Florida side, and call it simply a lack of killer instinct, maybe. They're obviously a very good football team, but they've had games that have probably been a lot closer than they should have been for a team that's regarded as a powerhouse. They're very strong, but I just don't. And again, I think you have to pay too much of a price to bet Alabama. But I do think Florida's a little overrated as far as the actual polls themselves are concerned.
And something in conclusion
Drew
here,
and Dave. Yep. The last point. The difference to the Heisman to me is this: Mac Jones loses his best player in Jalen Waddle, and it doesn't bother him one iota. When Kyle Trask did not have Kyle Pitts, it was a whole different offense. He was out against, a couple games and missed the LSU game. It was just not the same. So when you have a quarterback that can excel without his top, that to me is the Heisman winner, no question.
For Ralph Michaels and Dave Koch, and I am Drew Martin. Guys, enjoy the SEC championship game here. And also remember, at the bottom scroll there, you see it for just $149. You can get the rest of the college football bowl season from a handicapper of your choice at both websites, both Sports Memo and WagerTalk.com.